Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, my music! Let it ride!
What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your girl, Maimuxic, coming to you with Uptown Sounds, powered by Sonic Scout Radio. And I would like to thank y'all for tapping into the Uptown Sound. And for the next hour, trust me, this gonna be a fun one, man. We got such a great interview coming up with a gentleman by the name of Jim Fourniadis. And he giving game as always. Y'all know I'm gonna bring you somebody that's gonna instill something in you, give you some knowledge, give you some game, man. So y'all strap in for a big one. Now, kicking us off today. First of all, big shout out to IG. I was scrolling IG the other day, and I happened to come across this artist. And I was on his page for a little minute. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, first of all, go grab your phones, run the IG, and follow Real Knowledge, okay? That's RELLKNOWLEDGE. Tap in. Now this gentleman goes by the name of Seaven, okay? SEAVEN. I'm telling y'all this because when you hear this song, you are going to want to go and find him and tap in, because he's like that, all right? He's like that. I'm not even playing with y'all. And you know what? We're going to get my dog on the show. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk. We're going to figure out who Seaven is. In his music, outside of his music, all things Seaven. That's to come. That's a later thing. I'm giving y'all a little plug, all right? I'm giving it to you a little early. But I heard this and I was like, we gotta get him on. We gotta get him on somehow. So I tapped in with him. Big shout out to Seaven. He was like, absolutely, let's make it happen. And he sent me this dope track. I ain't even gonna keep y'all waiting no longer. Let's get into it. This is Seaven with High Rise on Uptown Sounds, powered by Sonic Scout Radio.
Means the world to me. Yeah. Means the world to me. Yo, check, check, I'm trying to open up these wings, I'm trying to fly far. Remember showing Pops the really fast cars. Who knew he'd be the reason that I passed bars, sitting on a star, hoping for the sun. Ain't no light brighter than the one that just begun. These niggas hope to be the chosen one, but they not, son. I took so many L's, shit, I only won like once. I keep it true, I'm never putting up a front. To act clean, I studied all my stunts. The cloud's been gray for a couple months, but it's bright today. On my morning run, might enjoy the warmth, go to the park and eat my lunch. I'm working hard, it's time to have some fun. My mama said you the oldest, so your job is never done. Still working on the best that I've become. I rep the rock, these niggas know just where I'm from. What's really butter when you have no funds? I make the cheddar and pump design to my lungs. I'm trying to get free into the world, leave a nigga stunned. Yo, I'm trying to spread my wings. I'm my mama's oldest son. Yeah, I'm trying to spread my wings. I'm my mama's oldest son. Yeah, I'm trying to spread my wings. I'm my mama's oldest son. Yeah, the oldest son, the oldest one.
I'm a sucker for that, dog. You did your thing with that, Seaven. You did your thing with it. From the production to the lyrics to the execution of the lyrics. You got a fan in me, man. You got a fan in me. Like I said before, y'all make sure y'all tap in with them on IG at Real Knowledge, RELLKNOWLEDGE. Tap in. That was Seaven with High Rise. And you know what? While I was on IG, I came across another one. Shout out to IG. Shout out to IG. Let me just take a moment and say, artists, producers, managers, writers, whatever it is you do, videographers, whatever, graphic designers, spend some time on IG doing more than just scrolling, man. Be intentional. Use it as a business tool and really tap into it that way, because when you do, you really, like, it's Google, but it's Google for the arts. You can just find almost anything that you're looking for, man. And that's what happened in this case. I had a very good day on IG, and I came across a page by the name of Chai Waves. Okay? All right? Chai.waves. CHAI.WAVES. Okay? And I came across this page, and, you know, I'm seeing all these links and stuff. And I clicked on a link that said That One Cancer's Diary. Pulled it up. Chyna Cloud. Whoo. Serious. Something serious. Okay? Now I'm telling y'all this. Y'all gon' Chyna Cloud. CHYNA CLOUD. Alright? Tap in. She's special. She's special. It's incredible. It is incredible. So I had the opportunity to tap in with Chyna. We talked a bit. Likewise with Seaven, we gonna get Chyna on the show in the very near future, and we gonna tap in with her and see what she got going on. But man, so many incredible artists out there, and she sent me a song called Q&A. And I love it. I've been listening to it on repeat. So I'm going to come and share that with y'all. This is Chyna Cloud with Q&A. Let's get it.
This man gon' have me losing my mind. I should not be asking. There's so many. Fuck, man. Is this real? I can even act like I don't feel anything when it comes to you and me. Tell me what it's bound to be. Are you bound to me? There's no rush, but we've been so connected. You're one of one. Do you really trust in me? I guess we'll just have to see. Love a smooth talking dude, love your style, how you move, but please let me in your thoughts, cause I don't have a fucking clue. What's your motivation, what's the combination to your heart? I don't wanna push too much, but I want all parts of you. Never tried to be this straight up with you, but I got niggas waiting, so tell me what's the move. I just want your time and then some. Is this delusion? What's the conclusion? I got what you need, but I won't prove it. You can see it, don't misuse it. I feel crazy, I might lose it. What it is? Do you see us having kids? Am I alone in what I feel? Do you swear that you've been real? We know our past front and back. If I'm too much to say that, then I won't worry. Won't have to hit you back. But I thought we had a pack. I want your heart, want your mind. Before you get a piece of mind, can't keep asking God for signs, so I'd rather ask my line of questions. Things you may forget to mention. Wanna know your true intentions. Forgive me for the billion questions, but I just gotta know. Is this real? I can even act like I don't feel anything when it comes to you and me. Tell me what it's bound to be. Are you bound to me? There's no rush, but we've been so connected. You're one of one. Do you really trust in me? I guess we'll just have to see. I have my questions. Just tell me your answers. I have my questions. Just tell me your answers. You know that we have let shit fester. I'll stop asking questions. Just don't leave me guessing. I have my questions. Just tell me your answers. I have my questions. Just tell me your answers. You know that we have let shit fester. I'll stop asking questions. Just don't leave me guessing.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all a little something. All right, y'all know I'm a producer. I make music. I've been doing music for some years now, but I haven't been that active this year. And I heard Q&A, and it made me wanna like get back on it. That's an incredible song. Everything about it. Big shout out to Chyna Cloud. We got to get more Chyna Cloud on the show. I was asleep, now I'm woke. Y'all don't be sleeping on Chyna. Y'all make sure y'all tap in. That's CHYNACLOD. Alright, go tap in with her on IG at chai.waves, CHAI.WAVES. Tap in with her. Now, keeping things moving on Uptown Sounds, powered by Sonic Scout Radio. I told y'all I had the opportunity to sit down with one Mr. Jim Fourniadis and get a whole lot of game. This gentleman has done everything from touring with some of the biggest acts to doing DIY underground theater and everything in between, man. And he's such a wealth of knowledge, and I am very grateful and thankful that I have the opportunity to not only interview him for the show, but I get to know him on a personal level. So without further ado, y'all welcome in Jim Fourniadis on the Uptown Sounds. Let's welcome Mr. Jim Fourniadis to the show. Jim,
hi, how you doing?
Hey Jim, thank you so much for being here.
I just wish I was in a cool car too.
We had to travel on the road today. Load it up in the car. I mentioned you on the show before, Jim, as someone I work with very closely, someone I've been always got a story for me, which I love. But can you tell the people a little bit about yourself, kind of your journey, how you ended up to where you are now, what you're doing in the theater world? And I know you have a history in music and you still do music. Can you kind of give us a little bit of your background?
Sure, I'll tell you. When I was in New York City going to film school, and at a certain point, I realized that film school was not going to make me a dime. I was in senior year, and I was trying to get like a senior thesis film together. But I had come originally from being a musician to being an audio engineer, and then I decided I would like go to multimedia and went to film school. But while I was living in New York City, I was making money as an engineer. It was like my side job. Like I was paid like $25-30 an hour, which was a lot of money back then. And at a certain point, I was just kind of like, fuck film school. Even though I'd studied for 4 years, directing and acting, I was just kind of like, I'm just going to stick to music. And I had my own band, Rats of Unusual Size. And I worked out of a studio called Vital Music. And we decided, like as many people did back then, we'd just form our own label so that we could release our own records. Because the way records work, if you leave them on consignment at a store, they have no motivation to pay you unless they want more of your records. So we had a small label with other bands and stuff like that. It was kind of like a musical pyramid scheme. We were like, yeah, you want the new John Hall record, then you have to pay us for those records. And we had that label for about 3 or 4 years. And we decided that we were going to be cool and Gucci, and we would only produce colored vinyl, which is fucking expensive. And back then the technology was so good, so our records would skip sometimes. But man, they looked cool.
They look good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like a Saturday Night Live. Is it better to look good than to feel good?
Right.
So we did that for a while. But then, of course, living in New York City, if you're not making like bucks, there's like only like two kinds of people in New York City, like, like squatters and people making a lot of money. So we ended up getting booted from the East Village because like the yuppies moved in and raised all the rates. Which I know it always happens, right? The same thing happened when I was living in San Francisco. I was living in the Mission, and suddenly the tech bros thought it'd be kind of cool to hang out there.
And they never left.
But anyway, when I left, I came out that was the first time I came out to Michigan because Joel had come to room with me for a little while, Joel Bash. And he went from being like a bar back to like booking shows at the Pyramid like within a month. People were like kind of scratching, like, who is that guy? Why is he booking the shows?
Oh, that's Joel for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he took a shine to us, which, feeling was mutual. I liked Joel, he was cool. And when things went south for me in New York, he invited me to come out there. He's just kind of like, just starting the local. And, we had always had like really good shows there when we were like a New York band and we would go on tour.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved here and started a studio, and things went pretty well for a while. But eventually, everything changes. I ended up moving out to California. And there I could not get arrested. I could not find musicians. I could not get a space to rehearse in. I was like, I kind of gave up playing music for it. But as luck would have it, my buddy John Rinaldi, who was in Lech Patrol in New York City, was out there, and he was involved in the theater scene. And he got me a job as a janitor in this really cool theater called Spanganga.
Mm-hmm.
And I went from like, cleaning up toilets to directing my first show.
Wow.
And it was cool because I had an opportunity to use all that shit that was like getting cobwebs in the back of my head from NYU. This was like kind of like in the like 2003 by this time. So started the theater there. Started to do theater there. And then when my boss decided he wanted to retire because he was sick of running a business, he started the theater so that he could like get up on stage and screw around. And he wasn't being able to do that because he was busy running the theater.
Right.
He gave me his Rolodex and we started the Dark Room.
Wow.
We had it for like 12 years. And again, like I said, we got kicked out of the mission by money. And I lived in Northern California for a little while, but then eventually Joel called again and said, why don't you just come back to Flint? And I've never been happier. Flint is the coolest place on the planet. I know people always ask me, first thing I ever say is, well, why did you move back to Flint? You were living in California. It's just, man, Flint is cool. There's cool people here. There's stuff happening and people have an attitude. And as a former New Yorker, I totally grok with that, because New Yorkers have the same kind of attitude. They're not as, they don't have as much punk energy as the Flintites do.
I'm happy you said that. We get a bad rep. I don't think it's that bad.
No, I don't think so. And you know what? It's fucking dirt cheap. I sold my mobile home and bought a house.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, Flint.
Right. Yep.
In fact, I wrote a song a couple of years ago, just before I moved back, called "Flint Is My Kind of Town."
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wrote it with John Vamishy from the Guilty Bystanders. He helped me write the lyrics.
Yeah.
And it was fun because it was just about kind of like, screw that. I don't care what people say.
Right. Man, Jim, every time I talk to you, it's a new story. I never knew you went to film school.
Oh, yeah. Tisch School of the Arts. Sounds really fancy. That's one of the reasons why I hate Jim Jarmusch, because he was an NYU film brat, and I find his films like repulsively boring.
This all makes sense now. It makes so much sense. So was it like a natural, I guess like a shift for you from going from music to theater, and did you kind of see some of the same, I guess, tools and knowledge that you had in music translate over to the theater world pretty smoothly?
Well, I thought about that a lot, and the conclusion I came up with was that when I switched to doing theater, I brought a lot of the punk ethos with me. Kind of like punk rock theater. We were never concerned about making a pile of money. And we always felt like it was, important, even though we goofed around and did comedy, to kind of give people like a little bit of a message to kind of just let them know where we stand with stuff and what we support.
Yeah.
So it was a transition, but I feel like to a certain extent, theater and acting relies on beats, and beats are like a form of tempo. So there's a musicality to actors delivering lines on stage. I mean, if you take it to its logical conclusion, like Shakespeare, that's really musical because it's poetry.
Yeah.
And I knew a lot of like spoken word people, and it's just, I feel like, the performing arts, whether you're playing music, whether you're doing dance, or whether you're doing theater, it's an expression of how you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And there's parallels there between all of them.
Mm-hmm. That's such a great point. Like when you said that it's punk rock theater, like I thought through all of the plays that I've been to, and I'm like, that's a great that's a great description of it. And what you guys do with it, like you make something out of nothing. Like you make a whole new world on the stage, the same stage, but it's like a whole new world. And the last play is not even in your mind when watching the new one because it just, I don't know, you guys just create a whole new environment and that like it really
Well,
that
that's why
DIY.
you notice we never have any sets
Yeah.
because I feel like sets codify your level of production value.
Mm.
It kind of like says, well, this is what they could do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put a black curtain up there, then suddenly your brain takes over. Your
Yeah.
brain spots in your mind's eye as you're watching the actors on stage. You understand where they are.
Uh-huh.
Your brain fills it in. Your brain fills it in a way that could never be equaled by anything we could build.
Wow.
You
That's
know?
such a great point. That's a great point. That's a great point. Let me ask you this, because you guys did the musical. Was it last year?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never
So
again. I'm never doing another musical.
can you take us through that process? Because I imagine that was a lot. It was great. It was incredible. But at the end of it, I was like, boy, this is an original musical.
Well, it's a musical. It's like it's music and it's theater, but it's not twice as hard. It's like 10 times as hard because it's not a matter of just the music and the theater. It's a
Yeah.
matter of juggling them,
Yeah.
having balls in the air, and it's just, that's a situation where budget really shows up what's going on.
Mm.
And the thing is, I don't mind having pre-recorded music, but it's really cooler if you can get a bunch of musicians together to play
Yeah.
live because then it feels like more of a recital. It has a
Mm-hmm.
more of like a live feeling. But I also am a really good engineer, so
Mm-hmm.
when I pre-record stuff, it sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to sometimes live, it's hard to balance things. But the thing about doing musical theater is that you have to have people who can act, people who can sing, and people who can dance.
Mm-hmm.
And and ideally like to have them be good at least two of those three.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that it's hard. That's a tall ask.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do all of those three. I
Right.
can barely do two of them. You know what I mean? But it's tough because you want people to shine, and you don't
Yeah.
want to preload them into a situation where they're going to have some difficulty.
Right. Right.
So it's tough. I probably won't do another musical as much as I love them. But uh, you know, uh, when our theater closed after 12 years, people all came up to me and said, "Oh, you must be so depressed."
Mm-hmm.
And I was really wondering. I thought maybe am I just numb because I can't believe my theater closed? And after thinking about it, I thought to myself, I can't be sad. I did it for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed every second of it. Not some people don't get a chance to do the things that I've done. And I thought to myself, yeah, you know what? It's over. Not everybody can do everything all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I feel about that. It's as much as I like doing it, I got other things that I'm doing, so it's okay. Um, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy with the things that we do. The last play we did, Clue, I was one of the best casts I've ever had.
Yeah.
Everybody just completely gelled, and we had the best time. And we're a small theater; we can't afford to pay people salaries and shit. Anyway, we pay our techs because they're working, but the rest of us are kind of playing. We're having fun.
Yeah.
I would say being a director is like playing with dolls. It's like stand here and you stand there, and then you said blah 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 blah.
Uh-huh.
Pretty much it. So I the only way that I can repay the kindness and the hard work of the actors is to give them an experience that they'll remember
Mm-hmm.
fondly.
Mm-hmm.
That they'll go, that was great. That was great. I love doing that. And I think that's why we get a lot of repeat people coming back is because
Yeah.
they like the way we were.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that mentality and just the whole how you guys function. Because whenever I come around, it's like you can really tell like it's a family environment. Like
Mhm.
everybody just loves everybody, and it's like we just get together and we're just one big happy family.
Yeah, I target people immediately who are divas. I have this one guiding principle in my life, and I don't care how successful I become, is that nobody is talented enough for you to have to put up with their bullshit.
Mm,
Nobody's that talented. I don't care how talented you are. If you're going to poison the air, you're out.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll tell fucking Denzel Washington, get the fuck off my stage if he starts hassling the other actors.
Right.
I mean, I'll feel sad about it, believe me, but I still do it.
No, I love that. That's awesome. That is so awesome. I want to kind of switch gears a little bit. I know we talked about the theater world, but can we speak a little bit about your history in music and how you kind of I look at you as someone whenever I have someone come through the local and they need to train and they need to learn and they need to see, I always try to have them come do at least one show with you just as someone who has the experience, not on just the level of being in Flint, Michigan and being at the local, but someone who has done this on big stages for big artists and has lived this life. So can you speak to a little bit? I know being around music and being in the industry as long as you have, you've kind of seen the transition of
Mhm.
music of where it was and where it is
Yeah.
now. Can you speak a little bit to that transition and how you have managed to still stay within the music world for all of these years?
Well, there's two different ways to look at that. And one is how has the industry changed,
Mhm.
and the other is uh, what I've done and how I've done that, how I've adapted to things. Um, the industry's changed a lot. I'll tell you my motivation for becoming an engineer, which is why I think I do a good job training other engineers. Is I
Mhm.
was in a band. It was
Mhm.
like the '70s. I'm old, and we paid this guy named Stormin Norman,
Mhm.
who had a recording studio called House of the Rising Sun. He had one of those half-inch Tascam decks, uh,
Mhm.
8 tracks, and it was $75 an hour. It was like prime money back then.
Mhm.
Back then cigarettes cost like $1 a pack, so $75 is a lot of money.
That's when
Uh,
you
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's always gauge the dollar by how much cigarettes cost. So this guy was not a musician. This
Mm,
guy was a gearhead. Back then, people had small recording studios were like enthusiasts,
mhm.
hobby people who spend some of their spare change because they like gadgets and shit. And this guy, I'm not saying this guy was bad. Uh, he had a limited amount of gear, so his recordings didn't sound that great. But his biggest problem is that he was an asshole.
Yeah.
And that and there's this there it's still to this day not as bad as it used to be because the industry's changed so much and the technology's changed so much. The gatekeepers have gone away. I mean, everybody can
Mhm.
get a recording studio now. But gearheads back then hated musicians
Mm,
because musicians had no clue about the recording process and they would whine and complain, and they would want things that they couldn't have.
mhm.
So there was this tension. It was like they're like mortal enemies, you
Right.
know. And this guy was the most condescending jerk in the world. And I remember thinking to myself, "This guy's an ass. I could do this." And I decided I'm going to do this. Screw him. So I kind of my entire engineering career has been to not be the asshole engineer,
Mm,
to
mhm.
like when the problem arises to like keep cool and
Yeah.
try as briefly as possible to explain the situation to the musicians
Yeah.
and enlist their support and getting things done. And I think once if you talk to them like they're not jerks, and if you explain things to them and let them realize that there is a situation and it's being dealt with,
Mhm.
then you'll get a lot less friction. And I'm not saying you won't get any,
Yeah.
because sometimes you can explain things to your blue in the face and people are just
Just
assholes.
not getting it. Yeah.
It's not like there aren't asshole musicians too. There are,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I feel like in that sense, because I remember when I was first starting as an engineer, I was scared shitless, and I didn't really have a lot of experience, and I was afraid to ask because if you ask, then the
Mm.
first thing that happened is like, "What? You don't know that? What are you
Yeah.
stupid?" It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I never do that. There is always a point where you don't know something. You
Yeah.
don't come, you don't pop out of the womb knowing how to be an engineer. So I patiently explain things.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember when, cause you and I kind of I had been at the local interning for some years, but once you came back is when I like kind of took over. And I was still like, I was probably like 21, 22 years old. I was very insecure in my knowledge of engineering because I wasn't always sure that what I was doing was correct. And I remember you would tell me things, and at first I'd be like, I don't know. I never wanted to come off like I didn't know. And I remember one day we were putting things back into the local, and you told me something that I think about to this day, and I tell people, you were like, it's not rocket science, it's rock and roll. And that just made it like so simple. I don't know what about that statement made it like it clicked, but I was like, he's right. It's not rocket science. Like it's not the
You know what else I say is I know complete abject morons who do this job. So it's just a matter of like, cataloging the knowledge,
Yeah.
I find that the best attribute that an engineer can have is a good memory.
Mm-hmm. That is so true. I have to remind myself at the festival this year, our last performers, our headliners, I lost track of where a cable was going. And it affected the last performance a little bit. It wasn't terrible, but it could have been better, and I knew it could have been better. And the drummer, I kept apologizing to everybody. They're like, it's cool. You just now to remember. Like that's the biggest thing. You just gotta remember where everything is, how it's all running, what's the signal flow. That's really all. If you can remember that, you
Hmm.
you
Yeah. The thing is that there's so many steps. Is like if you look at the flow chart of doing like for example like a live recording,
mm-hmm.
where you have to like balance the live house sound and the feed going to the recording deck. It's
Mm-hmm.
just you've got so many balls in the air. You have to remember to check every box. Otherwise, you'll do something like misappropriate a track, and suddenly you have no guitar track because you
Yeah.
bust the bass track twice.
Yeah.
It's like and it's especially if you don't have any type of monitoring. We don't have a closed control room where I can just listen to the
Right.
feeds and solo and stuff. It's just like you have to just make sure that you do everything. You
Right.
remember, you have your checklist, and you remember to do everything, and just keep it
Yeah.
in your head.
Yeah.
And and if you're lucky, you can do that on a beer.
Right. Yep. Yep. Okay, so I have this question, and I've been waiting to ask someone who really knows and who can answer this honestly and correctly. So coming from the years where everything was like outboard gear and everything was about gear, like having all of this gears, having all of these amps and everything
This
versus
is the
today.
analog question.
And today we have, you can just go get a plug-in that does the same thing. You don't have to have all of this gear. What to you is, because I'm, as someone who was born in 1998, who has not, I don't own a
Mhm.
ton of pieces of gear, but I watch videos and I see, like my two studios that I have to go visit one day, Electric Lady and Abbey Roads. Like those, I study those two studios. I'm always watching, and I'm always like, ooh, I want all of this gear. But then I ask myself, do I want all of this gear? Is it is that
Well, here, I'll tell you straight up. I'll tell you straight up, because people ask me this all the time. Because when you're as old as I am, they like both sides want to enlist you in their argument. Because this big analog digital thing for a long time.
yeah.
I'll tell you honestly, when I first started recording, I would keep a little card in my wallet. It was a little cardboard card, and on
Mhm,
one side there were 16 hash marks, and on the other side there was 24. And you'd put it up against the 2-inch tape, and if there was a click or pop on a track,
mhm,
which happens sometimes, you would do something called a window splice. You'd find where the click is, hit it
mhm.
with a grease pencil, and then you'd hold the little card up to it, and then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, it's on track 10, and then you cut with the razor blade a little thing, and then you cut another one, and then you throw the razor blade away because now it's magnetized. And if you try to use it again, it'll put another click on the track. So you grab another razor blade and you do the other thing, flip it over, do the other thing, and you pop out that little window. Okay? That's bullshit, okay? When I can
Sounds like
hit
a
like
lot.
mouse and go click, 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 and get rid of it. Let me tell you something. I love my undo button. I don't care what these people say. And the other thing about analog gear that people tell you is like it's so warm. It's
Yeah, yeah.
Digital's so cold. Analog is so warm. You know what warm is? Warm is frequency-based compression based on the limitations of the gear. You have a tube, you hit it really hard, then once you hit it too hard, extra electrons kept coming in and it starts like clipping the top of the signal, and it gives it the sense of being warm. And it's a dynamic warmth because the more you hit it, the more warm it gets, which means you're losing a little bit of low end frequency, but in a pleasant way, because, really high pitch sounds don't necessarily sound great, but the thing is that you can replicate that with digital gear. You can do the same thing that's happening there in the speaker with the microphone. And even if you don't have an actual emulator that shows you a nice little picture of the amplifier or the speaker,
Right.
which it's cool. And but even you can do that. You can decide these are the frequencies. You can either just trust your judgment, your ear, or you can just intellectually think, okay, anything above 10K is going to be a little harsh, and I want a warmer sound, and you'll bring it down. And you can even split the tracks and put different levels of compression at the different levels of frequency attenuation. And you'll get something that sounds similar in a way that makes it sound pleasant. It may not exactly emulate it, but some of the emulators actually do a really great job. I have an orange amp emulator that sounds gorgeous. And I can pick the microphone I want in it, and I can pick how far away the microphone is.
Yeah.
And the algorithm kind of calculates all that stuff and gives you a sound that is very, very, very realistic. So, I'm wondering why. Why do you have to have all that stuff if you have a lot of money and you're the type of person like, who wants to collect things? And I mean, they are kind of like works of art. If you look like an old Tweed amplifier, they're gorgeous. But I need to spend a lot of bucks to sound good? No.
They're toys. They're toys. I literally only want them to say I have them.
And they don't talk about the other side of it. The other side of it, where analog gear is like, horrifying. Like things like flutter, wow and flutter on the tapes, where the any minor variation in the speed of the of the motor will like have a certain effect on it, and it's imperceptible, but it's there. And if you're nitpicking, then you have to talk about it. There's also like if the tape path is not completely straight, you'll get like a little bit of like jiggle from like the tracks. In fact, those old Echoplex units, sometimes just to get like a cool effect, we would like move the head. We would shake the head and be like, blah, 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 but it's not that bad. But I mean, you know what I mean? And the other thing is signal to noise ratio. Oh man, some of those things, you put 3 things in a row, like an EQ, a compressor, and suddenly it's like in the background, These days, digital gear, they don't even buy, they used to put it on the box, signal to noise ratio, and they're very proud of it, especially turntables. These days, they don't even put it on the box. It's negligible.
Yeah.
There is no to noise ratio. Everything is clean, especially if you have a couple of effects in a row, plug-in wise. It's all digital inside the computer, so there is no noise added by each power supply, of each computer. So yeah, you know what? Digital gear is awesome. Don't let anybody tell you different. Like MP3s and WAV files are far superior to vinyl. Far superior. I mean, it's not even. You know that when you plug into the phono input on a amp, you have to plug your turntable. You have to plug it into that input. Have you ever accidentally plugged it into one of the tape inputs?
Yeah.
You know what it sounds like? That's what it sounds like. The phono input is there to kind of add a lot of low end that isn't there because they have to cut the low end to make vinyl, because otherwise the grooves would be really super big. So they roll all the low end off so they can fit it all on the record, and then they put it into that little preset EQ that's built into the phono input, and they just boost up a lot of low end. And you go, okay, now it's fine. It's just like it's it's like blowing up the pixels on something so you can see all the pixels, and then shrinking it and going, it's the same. It's the same.
Great analogy. Yo, big shout out to Jim Fourniadis, man. I hope y'all learned something right there, because I guarantee you I did. And that we did that interview. It wasn't that early in the morning, but it was early for your girl, Maimuxic, who stay up half the night. And so I posted up. I didn't go to the studio. I had just woken up a little bit right before we got started with the interview. Posted up out in my car, and he woke me up. because I was like, dang, I started thinking. I started getting all these ideas. So big shout out to Jim. He will be on the show more. I can guarantee y'all that, because I learned too much to not have him on the show. I really just use these interviews as a way for me to get the game that I'm looking for from the people. But I figure I'll bring that to the fam too. So before we go any further, I want to take a moment and shout out our sponsor for today's episode of Uptown Sounds. Let's give a round of applause to Uptown Creative House, which, if you're wondering, yes, I own Uptown Creative House. And today, Uptown Creative House will be sponsoring our next 3 songs by independent artists by the name of Allay Earhart. Allay is someone that I know personally, and this young man just has. I admire who he is as a person. I am a fan of who he is as an artist. I absolutely love and am inspired by his entire movement, man. And as of today, this episode is being recorded on August 29th, 2025. And as of today, Allay Earhart has released his final album. I'm sad. Y'all gonna be sad when y'all hear it, but we gonna tap into his album 2005 and just give you guys a little bit of background on it. I really wanted to spend some time on this project. This is something he dedicated to the 20-year anniversary of Hurricane Katrina out in New Orleans, Louisiana, and it's such a powerful thing for me coming from Flint, Michigan, and us having the water crisis, probably about 10-ish years ago, 2015, 2016, around that time. I relate in a lot of ways to some of the feelings and some of the things that Allay has expressed, and we've had those conversations before, man, and he's one of them people that's just he my speed. He my speed. I love to learn. He's a thinker. He asks thought-provoking questions, which I absolutely love. So big shout out to you, bro. I'm working on getting him in on the show, man. I know he has a lot going on. As of today, he'll hear this after the fact, but as of today, I know he's performing. It's actually his birthday today, so happy birthday to you, bro. And he has a big show at the Fillmore. So big shout out to you, bro. Go do incredible. I know you're gonna be just smiling from ear to ear after your show, man. So we sending you love. I appreciate you, and I want to really take some time out to tap into this new episode. So big shout out to Uptown Creative House for bringing us this artist segment. And this is actually a surprise to Allay, man. So he don't know I'm doing this, but we gonna go on and get into it now. I was listening to it as I was driving to my studio. I'm like, all right, dang. What 3 songs we gonna highlight? We highlighting 3 because 3 is my favorite number. And good things come in 3. If you were wondering. But I was sitting there thinking, wondering, like, dang, which 3 we gonna play? Like, every song I heard, I was like, nah, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. No, this one is my favorite. I think I got it down to 3, y'all. I think this might change in between. But for a fact, I know we gonna start it with Dear Wayne. Storytelling at its finest. So let's get into it. This is Allay Earhart with his single Dear Wayne off of his new album 2005. Let's get into it.
Dreams come to me every night. The writing's on the wall. Staring out my project window, I see a shooting star. Maybe when I die, I'll be a great. Till then, I'll write remarks and a disclaimer with my pen and pad. Dear Wayne, I
I listen to your music often. When Katrina came, you kept hope alive for New Orleans. My first CD was The Carter, 3 was damn near flawless. I got your autograph, forgot it in my pockets, then washed them. Sometimes me and my partners used to react baller blocking. LeChuckin was my best friend, ironically you signed him. I studied all your moves and it made me smarter. Now these mics I slaughter, no more starving artists, even Slim said I'm awesome. I read about your Uncle Bob too, I'm sorry. I had a friend who shot himself and died inside the hallway. I know you probably hear this every day, but I'm your biggest fan. I even got them underground tapes you did with Killer Cam. I had a room full of your posters and your pictures, man. I miss your mixtape era too, you saved rap. Anyways, I hope you get this, man. Hit me back just to chat. Truly yours, your pen pal. This is L.
Dreams come to me every night. The writing's on the wall. Staring out my project window, I see a shooting star. Maybe when I die, I'll be afraid. Till then, I'll write remorse in this letter.
Dear Wayne, thank you for that repost. I was happy, man. Your acknowledgement let me know that I have a chance. Did your pre-show at the House of Blues concert? Bad news, thought that would be the day I dappy talk with Young Money fam. Trying to reach my goals, but they all played it cold. Saw how Jigga did you with the Super Bowl. Tried to forget it, man, you was something like an idol. It had me wondering if your artist was acting like you. At 13, drinking codeine, promethazine. That's how much you really influenced me. Even had it in the pill. That's when I started selling. When you was on Rikers, I was on path to become a felon. Rebelling against my father till my cousin caught a slug. That's when I started rapping. Years later, got a buzz. If I don't make it, man, I'll be the protege you never knew. Sincerely yours, Mac Main, show love too.
Dreams come to me every night. The writing's on the wall. Staring out my project window, I see a shooting star. Maybe when I die, I'll be afraid. Till then, I'll write remorse in this letter. My pen and pad.
Dear Mr. Carter, I respect you as a man. You dropped the Carter 4 on my birthday. Damn, what the hell of a gift, it was worth it. The first Louisiana Fest was on Katrina anniversary. I hope that my expression is reflected in these lyrics. This from the heart right now. Hopefully one day you replay. Shout out Lil Slim, he was a visionary. Think about it, he discovered you. Cash Money bought the bling about you. Now Drake and Nicki always gotta sing about you. On the real, what would hip hop be without you? Who was the best rapper alive? Real talk, hey tune. I'm feeling like I got the same spark, but you still a GOAT. I pattern in my work ethic like you. Dedication got me seeing great heights too. Well, gotta go, I'm no longer a kid now. Ironically, I wrote this as a kid, wow.
Incredible job. Incredible job, bro. Incredible storytelling. I ain't got no words, man. We gonna have to keep this thing rolling. We gonna tap into the next one, man. War. Boy spitting. Something serious. Let's get into it. This is Allay Earhart with War. Yeah, man. Uptown, downtown. My war against your wall. We can set it all. Go to war. I say my war against your wall. We can face off. Go to war. I'm from that CALLIOPE. Everybody getting served, even in OPD. Raw nut cut. You won't see this on TV. Chopper City where you living ever since I was a PG. Raised by the killers that were chilling in the cut. When you living by the pistol, you gotta keep it tough. No hesitation if you up and better bust. Live by the core, retaliation is a must. Play it by the rules to whomever it concerned. Dog, your best to keep it cool. The cutter bullets burn. Concrete juggle when you stepping in this element. They pop the truck without the louder than the elephant. And my residence ain't nothing about it elegant. Spin a bend, then they spin
7 violent, brand new 40, 32 in the clip like Tyrant. Any problems? This shit'll get ugly like Dennis Rodman. Got this chopper chicken in your hood like it's pussy popping. Block boy, I'm so hot boy, I need a motherfucking towel. Diamonds dancing in my chain, doing a fucking Eddie Bauer. Put your chickens like I work at Kroger's. Nigga just sold a whole brick of YOLO right there on Saratoga. Bitch, I told you, I'll take it off your fucking shoulder. I put a bird on your head, Marcus Mariota. With this AK, leave a nigga DOA. Drag a bitch from the river, dump the body in Charbonnet. Everybody won't be hard till they step in the mall. I don't send no threats, I'm sending a bitch to God. Johnny Quest, motherfucker, the chef off Dalman. And I'm cooking salmon like the chef off Dalman.
I walk, yes, your walk. We can set it up, go to walk. Go to walk. I say my walk, yes, your walk. We can face up, go to walk. Go to walk. Go to walk. Go to walk. 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 We at walk, what is? Walk. Walk. We at walk round. Walk. Walk. We at walk down. Walk. 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 Them boys at walk. I say them boys at walk. Man, them villains from Uptown. Them boys at walk. Man, them boys at walk. I say them boys at walk. Man, them villains from downtown. Them boys at walk. Man, them boys at walk. I say them boys at walk. Man, them villains out the east. Yeah, them boys at walk. Man, them boys at walk. I say them boys at walk. Yeah, them villains off the West Bank. Them boys at walk.
Man, I'm trying to keep myself together so we can end this show. But listening to this in the studio and really like turning it up, I got an opportunity to listen to the album before it came out. And I was just riding around last weekend just bumping it. But getting it in here and really listening to it, man, something serious. Something serious. But before we go and get into the last song of the day, I want to take a moment to shout out all of my listeners. Thank you so much. You all make Uptown Sounds possible. This would not happen without y'all tapping in every week, man. So big love and shout out to y'all. Shout out to Sonic Scout Radio for being a platform for independent artists. Shout out to Seaven. Shout out to Chyna Cloud for tapping in, submitting music for this week's episode. Big shout out to Jim Fourniadis for tapping in for the interview, man. Such a great conversation that we had. Big shout out to Uptown Creative House for sponsoring today's artist highlight. And all my artists out there, if you're interested in being on Uptown Sounds, tap in, man. I want you on. I want to talk with you. I want to play your music. I want to highlight you. Hit me up, Maya at SonicScoutRadio.com. That's MAIYA at SonicScoutRadio.com. Shoot me a DM on IG, Facebook at Maimuxic, MAIMUXIC. If that don't work, man, just shoot me a text, 810-853-1617. Let's tap in. Now, bringing us out today is undeniably, this was the one thing I could agree with myself on, although in this moment I realized I'm gonna just have to play Bro whole album on here because I love every song. But this one hit the soul different, man. Big shout out Allay Earhart. His new album 2005 is out now. Happy birthday to you, bro. This is a classic. I've been bumping it. No skips whatsoever. Let's get into the final one. Bringing us out today, this is Allay Earhart with Before Katrina. Big shout out. I'm going to tap in with y'all next week.
Back in the days when I was young, I didn't need much. Man, I miss the days before Katrina. Back in the days when I was young, I didn't need much. Man, I miss the days before Katrina. Back in the days when I was running through the Cali, yo, I didn't know that I was living in the home of dope. My uncle smoked crack rock on the same porch. Rich spirits, even though we was living poor. It was vibrant and violent in the N.O. The hood knew the news way before Channel 4. Fat and all that showed the videos back when 50 Cent cold drinks was at the corner store. It wasn't nothing like Ryan RTA. Kmart Christmas gifts all layaway. As a kid, I have no patience, but had buku fun at celebration station. I was glad every time we went to Jazz Land. buck jumping every Sunday with the brass band. I remember Hornets jerseys with the headbands. When we had to hook up from the cable man. Every year new pictures with the Easter bunny. When mama asked if I had McDonald's money. Reminiscing on the days I didn't need much. I'm talking about the time before Katrina. Back in the days when I was young, I didn't need much. Man, I miss the days before Katrina. Back in the days when I was young, I didn't need much. Man, I miss the days before Katrina.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
What?
Back in the days.
When?
Back in the days. I miss the days when all my friends were alive. We would all jump shop outside for Mardi Gras. When every day felt like a lifetime. Started getting more exposure hanging with the older guys. I miss the days of the ice cream man. He would drive through slow while we outside playing. All day, just ripping and laughing. For uniforms, we went to Soul Train's fashion. Mixed emotion on the first day of school. Ain't no secret, I was tweaking for a new pair of shoes. Never wanted the weekend to be over. Back when your cousin had to ask to sleep over. Remember when we played Left Hand Johnny? Everybody dancing like Josephine Johnny. The DJs had the cold wave popping. Before twerking, all the girls was peep popping. Remember back, people sat on the porch and chat. The card games got serious over pity pat. Reminiscing on the days I didn't need much. I'm talking about the time before Katrina. Back in the days when I was young, I didn't need much. Man, I miss the days before Katrina. Back in the days when I was young, I didn't need much. Man, I miss the days before Katrina.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
What?
Back in the days.
When?
Back in the days.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
What?
Back in the days.
When?
Back in the days.
Yeah.
Everything was simple, yes indeed. Didn't get what you want, but you got what you need. If you was hungry, that was a guarantee. Every Monday, grandma got a pot of red beans. We used to play curveball in the streets. Back when you got some money, then you moved to the east. Gots to be real when you earning your respect. If you had it on your mind, then you got it off your chest. The dudes I used to fight now give me dap. And perhaps, maybe one day I could blow up with these raps. As I write these rhymes, I remind that I ain't need much. I'm talking about the time before Katrina. Back in the days when I was young, I didn't need much. Man, I miss the days before Katrina. Back in the days when I was young, I didn't need much. Man, I miss the days before Katrina.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
What?
Back in the days.
When?
Back in the days.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
And everybody say,
I remember way back when.
What?
Back in the days.
When?
Back in the days.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a test. This is the real deal. I don't want to panic you, but I want to make sure that you understand that there's a major hurricane that is in the Gulf of Mexico.
Welcome back. You heard the mayor. Hurricane Katrina's impact